G'day everyone, welcome to Eternal Gathering. The Gatherer here with another podcast series episode, and we're going to be talking about Commander Legends. The whole set has been spoiled, and we're going to go chat about the cards in a set, what they are, and what kind of decks might be coming out of the new cards, or what kind of decks could they fit into that already exist, and have a bit of a review of this set. So let's strap in. Going to be a bit of a long one. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and let's get into it with our first card, Achroma Vision of Ixidor. It's a 7 mana, 5 and 2 white for a 6/6 legendary creature angel with partner. It also has flying, first strike, vigilance, and trample. And the ability that it also has is at the beginning of each combat until end of turn, each other creature, not each creature, that would have been really good. Each other creature you control gets +1/+1 if it has flying, +1/+1 if it has first strike, and so on for double strike, death touch, haste, hexproof, indestructible, lifelink, menace, protection, reach, trample, vigilance, and partner. So quite a lot of keywords there. So I see this as an interesting commander that you could work a deck around with keyword abilities, but I would probably be putting it in the 99 in a deck that already cares about keyword abilities, or an angel deck, as most angels have flying, first strike, vigilance, that kind of stuff, lifelink, so you're going to get a buff with Achroma. 7 mana is quite a big casting cost, so if it was your commander, you need to have something to make it cheaper, otherwise it's coming in too late, and it's not going to be that impactful. If you put it in an angel deck, you already got synergistic things happening there, so I think it would work well as a card in 99 there. Same thing goes with if you're making a deck with cards that care about keyword abilities. That would also be something that you would probably throw this into. I think it'll probably be one of the more sought after cards in the set, just because it's an angel. A lot of people just like the angel tribe, so it does look very beautiful, the art as well. So that is what I think of Achroma. I think definitely a great card for the 99 in a couple of decks, and definitely in angel decks. Sakashima of 1,000 Faces, next card, 3 and a blue for a 3/1 legendary creature, human rogue, also with partner. I think all actually legendary creatures have partner in this, so we'll double check when we go through, but I think that's the case. So you may have Sakashima of 1,000 Faces enter battlefield as a copy of another creature you control, except it has Sakashima of 1,000 Faces other abilities, and the other ability is partner, and the legend rule doesn't apply to permanency control. So that means this card would be great as a commander, or in the 99 of a deck that likes to copy things, because you can be copying legendary things like planeswalkers or creatures, any permanent really, and you're not going to get the legend rule and having to sack one of them to keep only one on the battlefield. You can have multiple copies of the legendary permanent on the battlefield with Sakashima 1,000 Suns there. Yes, it's quite easy to possibly kill the Sakashima 1,000 Faces, therefore your legend rule clause will end. So you need to have some kind of protection for Sakashima. So I think as a commander, it's probably better to have that. That way you can bring it out when you know you got the protection, as opposed to the 99. But it can work in the 99, but I'll probably more likely have it as a partner and probably play probably green as the other color partner if you could get a partner for it. I also like the fact that we've gone back to different planes here. We've got, Achroma is from Dominaria, Sakashima is from Kamigawa. There's also Lorwyn kind of mixed in here as well, which is really interesting and really cool to see, going back to those planes, kind of dabbing in those spaces. I'm a great fan of Kamigawa. I really would like them to go back. I really like Lorwyn as well, so it's really cool seeing cards from those planes. Next we got our, we've only got 2 planeswalkers in this set. So one of them is Tavesh Zat, Doom of Fools. I think this is the better planeswalker as well. So 4 and a black for 4 loyalty. It can be your commander and partner planeswalker. It gets +2 to create 2/0/1 black thrall creature tokens. So not much happening there. +1, you may sacrifice another creature or planeswalker. If you do, draw 2 cards. Then draw another card if the sacrifice permanent was a commander. So if you sacrifice a commander, you get to draw 3 cards. If not, you just draw in 2 cards. So that's a really strong +1 to draw 2 cards for sacking a creature. And it can make creatures for you to sack 0/1 black thralls are not really going to win you any games anytime soon. So having the ability to create creatures to then sack to draw cards and give you card advantage, that's really neat. I think the +1 is quite strong, and obviously you'll be playing this in a deck that wants to create tokens and sacrifice them, or a sacrifice outlet kind of deck. The -10 is quite interesting. So you gain control of all commanders. Put all commanders from the command zone onto the battlefield under control. So including your own and also your opponent's commanders. If they're on the battlefield or in a command zone, you just get them. They're yours. You now control them. Or the commanders on the battlefield. That could be very interesting because, firstly, it gets around command attacks. If your other commander, if you're partnering Tavesh, it gets around, getting that commander back if it's later in the game. Also takes away your opponent's commanders, which may be very much the centerpiece of their decks, and without their commander on their side of the battlefield, you might kind of ruin their game plan. So really cool, interesting -10 there. I think this is perfect, well done Planeswalker for commander. As a commander product, this is definitely a good hit, I think. A nice sweet spot with Tavesh. Next we got Jessica Thrice Reborn. So 2 and a red for a 0 loyalty planeswalker. But it also has can be a commander and partner. And when it enters the battlefield, it enters with a loyalty counter on it for each time you cast it from a command zone this game. Or a commander. It can be any commander. So at least if you were to get it out, the worst thing you can get is a 1 loyalty planeswalker, which isn't that great. If I'm paying 3 mana, I'm only getting 1 loyalty, and there's no way to plus it, as you can see. It's got a 0, the choose target creature, to your next turn. If that creature would deal combat damage to one of your opponents, it deals triple that damage to that player instead, and then -X does X damage, to each of up to 3 targets. So if you get a 1, you can, yes, play 0/0/0, keep playing using the 0 ability, but 1 is really easy to do damage to Jessica and just kill it. You need to bring it out multiple times a game. It's going to be really difficult, I believe, to get any really good value out of Jessica, unless you got like a one-shot kill kind of, I guess, strategy with a creature, or a way to just kill someone with her 0 ability as soon as she comes on the battlefield, and trying to win that way, which is probably the only way I can think of going with this commander. So I don't think they did a really good job. I feel like it needed some way to plus it, whether it was dealing 1 damage to each creature, or dealing some X damage to a player, or giving plus X plus 0 or something like that to a creature. Some way to plus it would have been really helpful. You really have to then think about what partner you're going to be putting with Jessica, and what ways you can kind of exploit her ETB to get as many counters on her to keep her alive, and be able to use that 0 ability, because the 0 ability is really strong. Tripling damage of a creature, that is really strong. If you can get that creature to get through for damage, you pretty much feel like you're going to kill someone on the table with that ability. However, there's many hoops to kind of jump through. You need to have that creature be able to not be blocked and deal the combat damage, or have trample, some sort of evasion, and then you need to have Jessica stay alive before you get to the combat. Sorry, not before you get to combat. The creature to stay alive before you get to the combat phase, and then Jessica can easily die if you aren't able to kill them on that shot, and then it's going to cost extra to bring it out. It's going to cost you 5 mana to bring it out next turn. So I just don't see how this can be a very popular or very strong commander, unless you got a partner that you can get in and out of the command zone very easily, and then get those loyalty counters up on Jessica. So we'll see how that is. I think that this probably will be one of the cheaper mythics in the set. Only thing keeping it from going probably the cheapest mythic in the set is that it is a planeswalker and people love planeswalkers. Alright, we're going to Kamal, Heart of Croza, 6 and 2 green for a 5/5 human druid, legendary creature with partner. At the beginning of combat, on your turn, creatures control get +3/+3 and gain trample to end turn. So it's a literal overrun. +3/+3 and gain trample to end turn at the beginning of combat. You obviously have got to keep Kamal alive until then. It also costs 8 mana to come out. 1 and a green, until end of turn, target land you control becomes a 1/1 elemental creature with vigilance, indestructible, and haste. It's still land. And it becomes that not until end of turn, forever. Oh wait, no it doesn't. Until end of turn, it says that at the beginning. So usually they say that at the end. Okay, so until end of turn. Okay, so I was going to think that 2 mana to make that forever a 1/1. That's really good. So 2 mana to get pretty much a 4/4 trample, indestructible, vigilance, haste creature. You need to bring this out relatively quickly, plus making a deck that has a lot of creatures. I don't know if you can able to do that at the same time. Usually if you're ramping, you're ramping. If you're creating tokens, you're creating tokens. It's very difficult to ramp and create tokens at the same time. So this is definitely a finisher commander. You want to bring this out once you have your army basically ready to attack, and bring him out, keep him alive. Hopefully you have probably blue, red might be a good combination, or blue-white partner to give it some protection, some counter spells to keep up, to keep it alive. Otherwise, I don't see it being a really great commander if you're not kind of trying to go through the go wide strategy to use its +3/+3 and trample ability, which is probably going to win you the game, or at least kill one opponent. Yeah, so I don't think, again, it's a great creature to have as your commander. Even in 99, 8 mana is quite a lot to bring him out. I know he's in green and you should be able to ramp up, but it's still quite a lot to get him out. So be interested to see if this makes any splashes in the commander format. Next we've got our 9 mana Mythic Sorceries, and some of them are pretty interesting. So we'll start with Triumph and Reckoning, 6 and 3 white. Return all artifact, enchantment, and planeswalker cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. So if you are playing artifact, enchantment, or you're playing planeswalker Super Friends deck, interesting card to think about. 9 mana is a lot, So that is definitely going to be something to consider when putting these in your deck. Can you reach 9 mana? Is it going to be a good thing to get to that 9 mana? Is it going to win you the game, this 9 mana? Triumph and Reckoning, it could win you the game if you get to 9 mana, but you're probably losing the game when you play this, because you would have a lot of artifacts or enchantments or planeswalkers in your graveyard by that point. So you're probably losing, and is it enough to bring everything back to win? Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. So it's not really, I'm going to definitely win when I cast this card. Mnemonic Deluge. Exile target instant or sorcery card from a graveyard. Copy that card 3 times. You may cast copies without paying a mana cost. Then you exile Mnemonic Deluge. You again need to have something in your graveyard. So you need to have a deck that likes graveyard stuff, whether it's milling your stuff, or if you're playing a lot of spells and you want to cast something that's in itself going to win you the game with 3 copies. This might not win you the game. This could be a card that you have that you never be able to play, or you're going to have not very good targets. So there's a lot of workaround for this card. So again, a card that I don't think the 9 mana justifies the ability, and it has a bit of work to do to get you to have the right card to target with this, and the mana available to do it, especially in blue. Profane Transfusion. 2 target players exchange life totals. You create an XX colorless horror artifact creature token where X is the difference between those players' life totals. So this could be interesting if someone's really ahead and another person isn't, and you're trying to kill that person. You can try and get an extra bit of damage in. You can switch them around, get an XX creature as well. That might be a 10/10 or bigger, or it could be a bit less. But you might get a good creature out of it. You can also exchange your life total. It says target players. It can be anyone. You can change your one with the person with the highest one, or you can be political with this as well. I like the aspect that it can be political. Is it going to win you the game? No, it's not going to win you the game necessarily. It's going to, definitely prolong the game. It will prolong the game, but it's not going to outright win you the game. Don't think it's something that you necessarily want unless you're trying to do like a group hug kind of deck, or you've got some kind of weird deck that likes people to lose their life or switch their lives, something like that, like a more fun kind of deck. So I definitely don't think this card again is something that I would necessarily think about putting in my deck, just because of the 9 mana again, not going to win you the game. Soulfire Eruption. Choose any number of target creatures, planeswalkers, and or players. For each of them, exile a top card of your library. Then this deals damage equal to that card's converted mana cost to that permanent or player. You may play the exile cards until the end of your next turn, so it gives you 1 turn extra to play those cards. Very interesting deck. I can definitely see this being played more so than the other ones that we've spoken about so far, because it has the random aspect, and people really like the random aspect. They really like the idea that, I might do, 10 damage or 5 damage or 8 damage to something, or I might do 0 damage with a land. So I think it's really fun. It's quite political as well. You can say, I'm going to choose this, this, and this, and I'm not going to choose your things. So, you don't take me and let me do these things if I want to do these things next turn. It can be very political, very fun. There's decks that just love chaotic things. There's, the flip coin decks. Decks that just like to exile things and get a whole nother card out, like Chaos Warp or other enchantments and stuff that do that. So it definitely is a fun aspect to it. Is it a game-winning card again? No, it's not. Unless you got really high converted mana cost stuff in your library, which you're not going to have a million cards that cost a million mana. So again, not going to win you the game, but I can see it being played for the fun aspect. Reshape the Earth. Search your library for up to 10 land cards, put them in the battlefield, tapped, then shuffle your library. If you've got 9 mana and you're going to get 10 more lands out of your graveyard, not graveyard, so your library, what are you getting that 10 extra lands for? You're already ramping. This card is the card that will go in a ramp deck, so you're already ramping up. If you can get to 9 mana by turn 5, 4-5, that's great. And it's a really great card to kind of get 10 extra lands. If you're playing landfall triggers, that's really cool as well. But, is it really worth 9 mana to get 10 mana that you can't use straight away because they come in play tapped? Unless you've got synergistic things happening such as landfall. I don't see this thing too much play apart from landfall decks. Again, it can win you the game, but you're not guaranteed to win the game with the Reshape the Earth. So my best pick would be the red and white, followed by the green, seeing the most play. I don't think blue or black are as game-winning as the other ones, but blue can be, but it just really depends on what you've got in your graveyard. Then we got some more mythics to finish us off here. Archon of Coronation, 6 mana, 4 and 2 white, 5/5 flying. Archon with, when it enters the battlefield, you become the Monarch, so the Monarch's back. Really love the Monarch mechanic. It's really fun. It kind of, gives, kind of like the Throne was. The Throne is also kind of cool mechanic to have as well. Someone's on the throne, someone's the Monarch. You want to attack them because you want to get that extra card draw at the end of your turn. So as long as you're the Monarch, damage doesn't cause you to lose life. So you can definitely take damage, let them attack you and say, yeah, sure, I'm not going to die this turn, but they're going to steal the Monarch from you. Because Monarch is if they deal any damage or attack and get some damage, because you're just preventing, or not preventing, you're not even preventing that damage. The damage doesn't cause you to lose life, so you're still getting damaged. So it's going to let them get the Monarch. So interesting card. Cool if you want to play a Monarch kind of style deck. And I think one of the major themes in this Commander Legends is Monarch, as well as Cascade, as you can see over there. So Monarch and Cascade are really getting a bit of a boost with Commander Legends, and definitely a nice card to put in your 99 if you want to play kind of that Monarch role and play cards that give you the Monarch and try to hold on to Monarch. Mana Drains getting reprinted. Really good reprint. It was over $100. Last reprinted in Iconic Masters, I believe. So card attack spell at the beginning of your next main phase. Add an amount of colorless mana equal to that spell's common mana cost. Sees play in Commander. It's a good counter for you to play if you're playing in blue. So not much else to say. Reprints Tutor, another like $100 card that's getting reprinted. Search library for a card and shuffle your library, put that card on top of it. You lose 2 life as an instant. Amazing tutor. One of the most played tutors. Probably on par with Demonic Tutor in terms of its, I guess, powerfulness, if that's a word. Because it's an instant speed, you can get it at the end of the opponent's turn before it's your turn, get the card that you want to draw into your hand. Demonic Tutor, you get to put that card into your hand straight away. It costs 2 mana though, but being instant, it's really, really good. I think it pushes it to Demonic Tutor kind of level. A very good reprint again. Would love to see this when you open a pack. Hellkite Cursor, 6 mana. 4 and 2 red for a 6/5 flying dragon. When it enters the battlefield, you may put a commander you own from your command zone onto the battlefield. It gains haste and then return it to the command zone at the beginning of your next end step. Really interesting mechanic. Bring in your commander for 1 turn, letting it attack, and put it back in your command zone. If you can flicker that commander once it comes to the battlefield, you get to keep it because it's a brand new commander, brand new card. Gives it haste. Lets you attack in. So if you have commanders that like to do attack triggers, that's really good. Dragon, you can put in dragon decks. Necessary doesn't have to go in a dragon deck, I don't think. I think you can go 9/9 in other decks that would like to get the commander out. Even if the commander's like really strong, like let's say you have a commander, that costs a lot of mana, like Progenitus, for example, and you want to bring it in. You can bring it in on turn 6 or earlier, than trying to get all the mana needed to bring out your commander. Apex Devastator, 8 and 2 green for a 10/10 Chimera Hydra with Cascade, 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 Cascade. So basically you get 4 free spells off the top with this Apex Devastator. 10 mana for a 10/10, that gives you 4 extra spells. Randomly though, you're going to get whatever you get off the top. Most of the time, you're going to be able to play that spell because 10 mana is a lot of mana. So it's going to be 9 or less for you to cast it. So most of your deck should be 9 or less. So you're going to be casting definitely 4 spells that could be quite strong if they're going to be in the higher value, higher CMC. So it could win you the game in that regards, but not necessarily as soon as you put it into play. A couple more mythics here. We got Serif Seraphic Greatsword, 1 and a white for an equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+2. Its equip cost is 4. When a equipped creature attacks the player with the most life or tied for the most life, you get a 4/4 white creature token that has flying and is tapped and attacking that player. I don't think this should have been Mythic. I think this is probably one of the worst Mythics in the set. Probably, yeah, it could be the worst Mythic in the set. So, giving creature +2/+2, equipping for 4 though is quite a big equip cost. And you're only going to get a 4/4 white angel creature token if you're attacking someone with the most life. And sometimes you don't want to be attacking the person with the most life because they probably got the most board state, or you could be the one with the most life and you're not going to get this ability at all. Especially in white, you're going to be like doing some life gain probably. So really missed the mark on this. It could have been a rare. In terms of Mythic, I don't think so. I get, yeah, it's a draft format, and if you did get this out, get a white angel token a couple times, that's going to put you far ahead. But again, the whole grand scheme of things, it's not a really great card that's going to see a lot of play, in my opinion. Sphinx of the Second Sun, however, is a 6 and 2 blues, 8 mana for a 6/6 Sphinx with flying. At the beginning of your post-combat main phase, you get an additional beginning phase after this phase. So you get to untap, upkeep, and draw. Really, really cool, really interesting. Giving you the ability to have an extra upkeep is really good because a lot of things happen on your upkeep. Giving you the ability to untap, so you can play as many things as you want in your pre-combat main phase. Then after combat, untap, drawing a card. You're having basically a whole another turn. It's giving you an extra turn within your turn. This card is crazy. Definitely will see play in Sphinx decks. If you're playing that kind of tribal, I'll definitely be putting in my Sphinx deck. And it's just crazy. 8 mana is a lot. A lot of these mythics do cost a lot of mana, but again, if you can get this out a bit earlier, you're getting 2 turns per turn, if that makes sense. That should put you pretty far ahead. The only thing it doesn't give you is extra, combat phase, basically. If you can play this in a red deck, that gives you extra combat phases. You can have basically 2 extra turns within your turn. Very interesting card. I really like it. Really, really like it. Now we've got Elvis Dreadlord, 3 and 2 black, with 3/3 Encore. Is 5 and 2 black, means that you can exile this card from your graveyard. For each opponent, you create a token copy that attacks that opponent this turn if able. They gain haste. Sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. Activate this only as a sorcery. So it has a Death Touch. When it dies, non-elf creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. So it's a mini Wrath. And also, when you play it for 7 mana, which is quite a lot, you're going to give possibly, at most, -9/-9 to all creatures that are non-elf. So it's really good for an elf deck, definitely. Or if you don't mind your stuff dying, you're getting Graveyard Synergy, then really cool card to bring in. It's not the strongest card. 5 mana for 3/3 Death Touch. I don't know if that's somewhere you want to be, unless you're really, really in a particular strategy, such as elves or graveyard synergies. Port Razor, 3 and 2 red for a 4/4 Orc Pirate. This is a very interesting action card. When it deals combat damage to a player, untap each creature you control. After this combat phase, there is additional combat phase. And then Port Razor can't attack a player it has already attacked this turn. So you have to attack and deal combat damage to a player to get everyone to untap. Then you can attack again. So you can attack up to 3 times. You have to give it, I guess, evasion, because otherwise if you don't get it through, if it just deals damage to a creature and kills that creature, you're not getting the trigger to go to an extra combat phase, or extra combat step, sorry. So you need to give some kind of evasion, but it's very interesting. It's very well costed, 5 mana for 4/4. Very well costed. If you can give it protected to your next turn, or if you can give it haste on a turn it comes into the battlefield, you can definitely do some stuff with this. And obviously pirates again are getting a bit of a boost in this Commander Legends. So you'll see there's a few more pirates in this set. So interesting mythic there. Dawnglade Regent, 5 and 2 green for an 8/8 elk. When it enters the battlefield, you become a monarch, and as long as you're a monarch, permanents you control have hexproof. Really cool payoff for being a monarch. 7 mana though for an 8/8. That does protect everything though. Is it something that you want to be playing at 7 mana? I'm not too sure. It's still a nice card for monarch. Soul of Eternity. Its power and toughness equal to your life total. It's 7 mana, and then you got Encore for 9. If you're doing a life gain deck, a good card to have. Could be a good finisher. But then again, 7 mana again, quite a lot. 9 mana, quite a lot. I don't know what if you want to be playing that at that time of the game. Body of Knowledge, 3 and 2 blue for an avatar with power toughness equal to the number of cards in your hand. You have no maximum hand size, and whenever Body of Knowledge is dealt damage, you draw that many cards. So if you give it indestructible and do a lot of damage to it, you can draw a lot of cards. So very interesting kind of card here. You can kind of do some things, some shenanigans with this card, so it's quite interesting to play around and build around. Definitely something to have a look at. Necrotic Hex, 6 in the black, woo, 7 mana. What's it going to do? It's going to get each player to sacrifice 6 creatures, and then you create 6 tapped 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. Each player, not each opponent, each player. So you have to sacrifice 6 things to get 6 2/2s back onto the battlefield. Unless you're going wide and having a lot of tokens, I don't think this is a really good card. Same thing for your opponents. If they're doing a go wide strategy, they're gonna have 6 creatures to sacrifice. They're gonna choose the ones to sacrifice. They're not gonna choose their best creatures. So for 7 mana, you can do much better. Definitely a bulk rare. Court of Ire. All these courts are actually really interesting. Court of Ire, 3 and 2 red. For enchantment, when it's battlefield, you become monarch. Beginning of your upkeep, Court of Ire deals 2 damage to any target, but if you're the monarch, it deals 7 damage to that player or opponent instead. So definitely a way to win the game. If you can be the monarch for a couple turns, woof, this can do a lot of damage. Really like these courts. You'll see a few more later on, but really loving them. Definitely we'll see play if you are doing a monarch kind of strategy as part of your commander. Definitely would be playing this. The Marquesa, the Queen, we'll look at it later, Queen Marquesa, definitely is going to see much more play, and it's got a boost in its deck, definitely with these courts and some monarch cards. Gillanra, oh, it's a hard one. Gillanra, Caller of Wirewood, 2 and a green. This is uncommon. 1/2 partner, commander, and green. You can spend this mana to cast a spell with commander mana cost 6 or greater. Draw a card. So mana dot lets you draw a card if you cast something big. Not something that I would definitely use as my commander. Chroma's Will. This is a really cool card. 3 and a white for an instant. This is instant, guys. Instant. Choose one. If you control commander, you get to choose 2 when you cast this spell. So you can have creatures you control gain flying, vigilance, double strike, turn to turn, and depending if you have commander, lifelink, indestructible, and protection from all colors. So offensively, defensively, this is a really good card. And if you have the Chrome out, which we spoke about earlier, you're getting your guys +6/+6, which is unbelievable. I think this is definitely going to be seeing a lot of play. I wanted a more expensive res in this set, I reckon. You just want to play this if you're in white, because this gives you a way to close out a game, or really just blow the game wide open if they attack into you, or you attack into them, and then they're going to choose their blockers, and it's not favorable for you, but all of a sudden, bam, you play Chroma's Will, and it's favorable for you. So definitely a card that will see play in white, and should see play in a lot of white decks, or decks that even have the ability to play white. Sakashima's Protege, 4 and 2 blue for 3/1. Flash Cascade. When this enters the battlefield, you may have it be a copy of any permanent that enters the battlefield this turn. So you're going to Cascade trigger first. So you're going to get something coming off the Cascade. It might not be a permanent though, that's the thing. It might be an instant or sorcery. And then if that's the case, this comes into play as 3/1 for 6 mana. Otherwise, it can be whatever, another copy of whatever you got. If it's a legendary thing, if you don't have Sakashima out already, then you're going to obviously be a bit sad. So a little bit of workaround for this. The cool thing is that it has the ability to flash, so you can play it during anyone's turn, and hopefully cascade something good if you can manipulate your deck, your top of your deck, to get a good cascade trigger. Nightshade Harvester, 3 and a black. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, that player loses 1 life. Put a +1/+1 counter on Nightshade Harvester. Really good for like a taxing kind of deck. So taxing people that will be playing lands. Otherwise, it's not a really good card to have necessarily in your off deck. It's an interesting card to have the ability that it has. I think it's interesting, but not a card that I think we'll see a lot of play in Commander overall. Coercive Recruiter for 4 and a red, 4/3 Orc Pirate. When he or another pirate enters the battlefield under your control, you gain control of target creature and until end of turn. Untap that creature, until end of turn it gains haste and becomes a pirate in addition to its other types. Really cool card for the pirate deck. You play this, and any pirate, you get a creature from your opponents for a turn to attack. I love these kind of abilities. It can really blow out a game sometimes, especially if you have the way to kill that creature that you just stole. And this is an ETB trigger, it's not an attack clause or anything like that. So you can just attack with that creature that you just coercively got into your side. So I really like this Coercive Recruiter, especially for pirate decks. Pirate decks are going to get a bit of a boost, and you might see some more pirate decks floating around in the command zone. Biowaste the Blob, 2 and 2 green for a 0/0, but oozes you control get +1, so it's going to be a 1/1 at least. And at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control a commander, you get to create a copy of Biowaste Blob. So you're just going to keep adding to it, and all your oozes are going to get +1/+1 for each blob out. So that's really cool. I love these kind of oozes, they're very flavorful. Be great in an ooze deck, definitely. That's basically where I see play it, or maybe a token deck, but mostly an ooze deck you would be playing this. Armored Sky Hunter, Cat Knight, 3 and a white, 3/3 flying. When it attacks, look top 6 cards in your library, you can put an aura or equipment card from onto the battlefield. If it's an equipment card, put it on the battlefield this way, you may attach it to a creature you control, and put the rest at the bottom of your library in random order. Really good card. If you attack, you can look 6 cards deep, that's pretty good, decent amount of cards. If you're playing equipment or enchantment auras, you definitely want this card in your 99. Sakashima's Will, 3 and a blue for a sorcery this time. Choose one, unless you control commander, you get both. Target opponent chooses a creature they control and you gain control of it, so they're going to give you their worst creature. And you choose a creature you control, and each other creature you control becomes a copy of that creature in turn. If you have an ability that you want to copy, or if you have a creature that's really strong and you think you can win the game by making all your creatures that creature, yeah, you'll play it. But I see this again in the copy decks that like to copy things. Rakshasa the Baser, 4 and 2 black for a 6/6 with encore of 6 and 2 black. Whenever it attacks, put a creature card from the defending player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So your opponents have to have creatures in a graveyard for this to have any kind of value for you. Again, something that for 6 mana, I don't know if I'd be wanting to play it necessarily. Flame King Herald, Elemental Wizard, commander spells you cast have Cascade. Really cool for the Cascade deck. Also really cool just to have it in your deck, because your commanders getting them extra value when they come out of play. 3 mana to bring this out. If you're able to play next turn your commander, you get a free spell out of it. That's really cool. Root Weaver Droid, 2 and green for 2/1 Elf Druid. When it's battlefield, each opponent may search the library for up to 3 basic land cards. They put one of those cards onto the battlefield tapped under control, and the rest onto the battlefield tapped under their owner's control. Then each player who searches the library this way shuffles it. So each player may search the library up to 3 basic land cards. So up to, so they can probably just choose one, because they put one of those cards onto the battlefield tapped under your control, and the rest on the battlefield tapped under. So they're going to choose 3 at a time. So they're going to give themselves 2 and you 1. So is that enough? If you have 3 opponents, you're going to get 3 lands, and your opponents only get 2, 4, 6 lands. You're not really ramping yourself up. It's not a really good card. I think this should be more of an uncommon than a rare, in my opinion. It also doesn't let you search. It's only your opponents. So I don't think it's a great card there. Oster Command, getting reprinted. Hull Breacher, 2 and a blue for a 3/2 Pirate with Flash. It's also a Merfolk. If an opponent would draw a card, except for the first one they draw each turn, or each draw step, sorry, you create a treasure token. So they're drawing 5 cards. You can bring this in, flash it, you get 5 treasure tokens. Really cool way to blow out an opponent, especially if they cast on a mana to draw cards. And also it stays around for forever, so they have to get rid of the Hull Breacher if they want to start drawing more cards. So really cool, interesting card to play, definitely, not just in Pirate decks. Plague Reaver, 2 and a black for a 6/5. Pretty good stats. Beginning of your end step, sacrifice each other creature you control. Right. Discard 2 cards, sacrifice Plague Reaver, choose target opponent, return Plague Reaver to the battlefield under that player's control at the beginning of their next upkeep. Very interesting kind of card. I don't think it's that good though. There are definitely ways that you can try and abuse it, but your opponents are going to be able to do the same thing, give it to another opponent, give it back to you basically. So they might just keep it for a turn or 2, but after that they might be able to discard 2 cards to give it back to you. Blasphemous Act gets a reprint, which is nice, very heavily played card. Court of Bounty, another court. I love these courts, 2 and 2 green. And it's the battlefield, you become a monarch. Beginning of your upkeep, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. If you're a monarch, instead you may put a creature or land. Very good for monarch. If you're a monarch, amazing. Yes, you got to wait a whole turn to be able to play the second ability, but still, if you're playing monarch, you want to be keeping the monarch. Definitely a great card there. Promise of Tomorrow, whenever a creature you control dies, exile it. It's an enchantment, this one. At the beginning of each end step, if you control no creatures, then you sacrifice Promise of Tomorrow and return to the battlefield all the exiled cards back to the battlefield. So a good protection. You can play this and then start playing your creatures after that. If they don't have enchantment removal, which most decks do, and they're doing a board wipe, or if you're going to do a board wipe yourself, you can do a board wipe, get all your creatures back anyways. Really cool, interesting card, definitely will see play. Wrong Turn, 2 and a blue, type opponent gains control of the target creature. Group hug kind of deck, can be political, but otherwise not something that I would be wanting to play. Court of Ambition, 2 and 2 black. ETBs, become a monarch. Beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses 3 life. Unless they discard a card. And if you're the monarch, instead each opponent loses 6 life unless they discard 2 cards. So another great way to win the game. This one and the red one are really interesting. Definitely will be putting into my own Queen Marquesa deck. Wheel of Misfortune, 2 and a red. Each player secretly chooses a number, 0 or greater, and then all players reveal those numbers simultaneously and determine the highest and lowest numbers revealed this way. Then this deals damage equal to the highest number to each player. So if you chose 100, then everyone will be taking 100 damage. Everyone. So to each player, each player who chose that number. So if you chose 100 damage will be done to you. Then each player who didn't choose the lowest number discards their hand and draws 7 cards. So then you're going to do damage to yourself, and then you're going to be able to do a Wheel of Fortune discard your hand, draw some cards. If you pick the lowest number, then you will not be taking part in any of this. The thing about this is, it's interesting, kind of chaotic kind of card. Definitely will see play, but if you're playing it, you're going to be wanting to either, pick a number that's high enough to get you the Wheel of Misfortune's ability to wheel. You don't want to be choosing the lowest number. You can talk to people probably, say that you're going to be playing this kind of card. What numbers will people choose before you play this? Because obviously when you play it, everyone has to choose it secretly. But you could probably, use a bit of political kind of value there and say that, you're going to be doing this. What are people going to be playing? And you can be a bit of bluffing there as well. So a fun kind of card to have. Sweet Gum Recluse, 4 and 2 green for a 0/3 Flash, Cascade, and Reach Spider. When it enters the battlefield, put 3++ counters on each of any number of target creatures that entered the battlefield this turn. So you can put 3 on this, so we are 3/6, and plus any other creatures that you came into play. You get a Cascade trigger, so hopefully you get another creature at least. Slash the ranks, 3 and 2 white, destroy creatures and planeswalkers with commanders. Could be good if you're playing a Voltron deck, definitely. Elegeth, Crossroads Augur, 4 and 2 blue for a 5/6 flying Sphinx. If you would scry a number of cards, draw that many cards instead. It also has partner. Really cool card. If you're scrying, you can draw. I like the effect. I love this effect. Definitely will be good in Sphinx decks, but also any other blue decks that do a lot of scrying. Opposition Agent. This is being talked about a lot. 2 and a black for a flash human rogue. You control your opponents while they are searching their libraries, and when an opponent is searching their library, you exile a card that they would find, and you may play those cards for as long as they remain exiled, and you may spend mana as though were mana of any color to cast them. So even if Opposition Agent dies, you still can play those cards that you exile. So this card probably will see play in Legacy and Vintage for the ability to stop your opponent from searching their library. It stops fetch lands. When they fetch, you can play this in response. It has flash, so it's just amazing. It just puts it over the edge because of the flash ability, and then you can search for the card and play it for yourself. So really cool, really amazing card. We'll see a lot of play in a lot of black decks. Jessica's Will, 2 and 8 red. Choose one. If you control commander as you cast a spell, you may choose both. Add 1 red for each card in target opponent's hand, and exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play them this turn. It's dependent on an opponent's hand. If they have a lot of cards in their hand, then this is cool. If they don't, this is not cool. You get to kind of draw 3, but you can only play them this turn. It doesn't give you an extra turn to play them. Not a really great will, in my opinion. Kamal's Will is 3 and green. Turn to turn, any number of target lands you control become 1/1, and of the creature tokens with Vigilance, Indestructible, and Haste, they're still lands. And then choose target creature you don't control. Each creature you control deals damage equal to its power to that creature, so you can kill a creature if you have a lot of creatures on the battlefield to deal damage to them. Not the greatest as well. Court of Grace, 2 and 2 white. When as battlefield become Monarch, beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 White Spirit token with flying, but if you're a Monarch, you get a 4/4 Angel with flying instead. So another great Monarch card. Laboratory Drudge, 3 and a blue. Beginning of each end step, draw a card if you cast a spell from a graveyard, or activate an ability of a card in a graveyard this turn. A really good card to have for graveyard synergy. Also a good card for zombie decks. Zat's Will, 4 and a black. Each opponent sacrifices a creature they control with the greatest power, and then exile all cards from all opponents' graveyards. Create an X01 black throw creature tokens, where X is the greatest power among creatures cards exiled this way. Interesting kind of card. You can make a few tokens. Definitely making them sacrifice their greatest power creature is also good, because most of the time that will be their best creature. Aurora Phoenix, 4 and 2 red for a 5/3 flying Phoenix with Cascade, and whenever you cast a spell with Cascade, you may return Aurora Phoenix from your graveyard to your hand. Cool kind of Phoenix card if you want to play in a Phoenix deck. Otherwise, not that great overall. Immaculate Magistrate is getting reprinted. Nice reprint. Livio, Oversoul Sentinel, 1 and a white for a 2/2 Human Knight legendary creature. Choose another type creature. It's controlled by exile it with an Aegis counter on it, and then return all exile cards with Aegis counters on them onto the battlefield under your control and the owner's control, sorry. So good flicker kind of commander, and a good way to kind of protect stuff as well. Obviously can't protect itself, so giving it protection might be something that you want to be doing. Court of Cutting, 1 and 2 blue, so this is the cheapest one. Beginning upkeep, any number of target players each mills 2 cards, but if you're the Monarch, they mill 10 cards instead, so you can mill your opponent out. This could be a really good card from a mill deck. Sengi the Dark Baron, 4 and 2 black, for a 4/4, a vampire, legendary creature with partner. Flying, whenever another creature dies, you get to put 2 plus counters on the Dark Baron, and whenever another player loses the game, you get life equal to that player's life total as the turn began. Really interesting kind of ability there. Yes, I'll be playing this in a vampire deck, for sure. Everwild Captain, 3 and a red for 4/2 Dijan Pirate. When this battlefield becomes Monarch, whenever an opponent attacks you while you're the Monarch, this captain deals damage to that player equal to the number of cards in their hand. So it could be a way to stop people attacking you, but then again, if you're getting a very aggressive decks, they're not going to have any cards in their hands. They will be able to attack you quite easily. Kunama East Trade, this is a really interesting card. 6/6 for 4 and 2 green for a 6/6 legendary creature spirit with partner and reach. And whenever another opponent enters the battlefield under control, if it wasn't put on the battlefield with this ability, you may put a permanent card with equal or lesser converted mana cost from your hand onto the battlefield. So you get to cheat stuff out all the time. And if you got lands, you can still put those lands into the battlefield. Extra land, 4 triggers. Really interesting. I think we'll see a lot of play in green decks. Kodama. Keeper of the Accord, beginning of each opponent's end step. If that player controls more creatures than you create a 1/1 white creature search token. And then each opponent's end step, if they have more lands, you get to search a library for a player and put in the battlefield tapped. Not the greatest card. It's just a catch-up card. Amphion Mutineer, 3 in a blue for 3/3 Pirate Salamander. When it's the battlefield, exile to 1 target non-salamander creature. That creature controls. That creature controller creates a 4/3 blue salamander warrior creature token, and you can encore it for 6. So cool removal in blue. Miara, Thorn of the Glade. Whenever it or another elf dies, you may pay 1 and 1 life to draw a card. Not too bad for an elf deck if you're doing strategies where you want to kill stuff or just get extra value when your elves die. Krak, the Thumbless, really interesting card. 2/2 for 1 and red for 2/2. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery, it's a goblin wizard. You flip a coin, and if you lose the flip, return that spell to its owner's hand. If you win the flip, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for copy. Be really good with a low casting CMC. It's just sorceries, because if you play like, let's say, Brainstorm for 1, you lose the flip, no worries. Play it again, you lose the flip, no worries. Play a 3rd time, you win the flip, you're drawing 6 cards. So you're ahead, 3 mana to draw 6 cards. Amazing value. So Krak the Thumbless, definitely a cool commander. Magus of the Order, 2 and 2 blue, green, 3/3 for a human wizard. 1 green and tap to sacrifice Magus of the Order and another green creature. Just search library for a green creature card and put it into the battlefield and shuffle your library. If you want to be searching for specific cards, then that is great. Then you got some uncommons. I'm not going to go through the uncommons. We'll skip them. There's nothing too spicy here to be talking about. There are some, but we'll just skip them just in the interest of time, as we're almost approaching an hour. Then we're going to our multicolored cards. Jared, Carthalion True Heir. It is red, green, and a white. 3/3 human warrior. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent becomes the monarch, and you can't become the monarch this turn. If damage will be dealt to Jared while you're the monarch, prevent that damage and put many plus and plus counters on it. Interesting. Another monarch kind of commander that you could probably play. But I don't know if that giving the opponent the monarch is something that you really want to be doing necessarily. So I don't think you'll see that much play as a commander. It doesn't have partner, so these ones that are multicolored do not have partner. So all the monocolored did have partner. Bellbalker, Spectral Sergeant, to a red and a white for a Star 5. So note the command mana cost of each card as to put it into exile. When Borka special power is the greatest number of noted for it this turn. Okay, so you have to be exiling things. To begin with, upkeep. Exile top card of your library, you may play that card. It's a way to draw cards in red and white. I don't necessarily think this is a great card though. Queen, Iterant Meddler, white and a blue for a 1/3 rabbit wizard. Each player may draw a card, then each player who drew a card this way gains life. Good group hug kind of card. Lathiel, the Bounteous Dawn, 2 green, white, 2/2 unicorn, lifelink. Beginning of your each end step, if you gain life this turn, distribute up to that many possible cards among any number of other target creatures. Really cool for a life gaining deck. Nevinrin Herbal Tyrant. This is a 3 white, blue, black zombie wizard, 3/6 hexproof from artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. So it has some protection there. When it enters the battlefield, create a tapped 2/2 black zombie creature token for each creature that died this turn. Then when this dies, you may pay 1 if you do destroy all artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. So never risk. I really like this as commander. There's definitely ways you can abuse it. I definitely think that if you be able to keep him alive for a turn, destroy everything, bring him back, you get a bunch of zombie tokens. Definitely a really interesting card. Hux Erickson, 2 red and a green, 1/4. He was scout. When it attacks, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it in the battlefield, tapped and attacking. Then defending player or planeswalker that they control. And then otherwise, you will put that card into your hand. When you put a creature card onto the battlefield this way, it fights Hans Erickson. So a way to cheat some stuff out. Could be interesting. I'm not sure if it's good for a commander though, unless you can give it indestructible. Obeka, Brute Chronologist, 1 white, blue, black, red for a 3/4 Ogre Wizard. Target player whose turn it is may end their turn. So you can help your opponents. You can definitely help yourself. It's a bit weird kind of deck. You have to work around and build around it. Nostro, Voice of the Crags, 1 blue, red, white. Chimera, 3/3. Choose 1. X is the number of spells you've cast this turn, so you can scry X, or you can have it do X damage to target creature, or you can gain X life. You have to be obviously in a spell-heavy deck for this to be valuable for you. Again, Arcanum Weaver, red, white, black. 2/3 wizard. It also costs red, white, black to tap to sacrifice an enchantment and return target enchantment card from your grave to the battlefield. Really cool way to cheat your enchantments back into play if you want to go that strategy. Archeolos, Lagoon Mystic, 1 black, green, blue for a Turtle Shaman, 2/4. As long as it's tapped, other opponents enter the battlefield tapped. As long as it's untapped, other opponents enter the battlefield untapped. So you can definitely abuse this with things that come to battlefield tapped are your own. Coffiner, the last U, 3 white, black, green. It's a Tree Folk Shaman, 3/7 Vigilance Reach. When it or another creature control dies, return up to 1 target creature card with lesser toughness from your grave to the battlefield. So really cool kind of way to bring stuff back if they try and kill your stuff. Really definitely would be playing 9/9 of Tree Folk. I think Doran's a better commander overall. Belby, Corrupted Observer, black and a green, 2/2 zombie elf. At the beginning of each player's post-combat main phase, that player adds 2 colors for each of your opponents who lost life this turn. It gives each player this ability, so you want to try and limit that or work around that. Amareth the Lustrous, 3 green, white, blue, Flying Dragon, 6/6. Whenever another opponent enters the battlefield under your control, look at the top card of your library. If it shows a card type with that opponent, you may reveal that card and put it into your hand. And if it went to the battlefield, it'd be even better. Interesting kind of card. Again, I'm not sure if I want to have this as a commander per se, but definitely could be a 99 card. Zara Renegade Recruiter, 3 blue and a red for 4/3 human pirate with flying. So when it attacks, look at the defending player's hand. You can put a creature card from it onto the battlefield under your control, tapped and attacking that player or players where they control, and then return that creature to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next step. Really interesting card again. Definitely a card that I will be putting in the 99. I think you would want to have black as your commander as well in terms of pirates. Yorlock or Scorch, Thrash, 1 black, red, green, Vigilance, Vyashu, Shaman, 4/4. At the beginning, a player losing unspent mana causes that player to lose that much life, so it brings back mana burn, and for 1 mana you can tap it to add 1 black, red, and green for each player, so you can possibly deal 3 damage to each player if they're not playing those colours. Gore, Mordrak, Amphenologist, 1 green and a blue. For a 3/2 human scout, you and opponents you control have protection from salamanders. At the beginning of your end step, each player who controls the fewest creatures creates a 4/3 blue salamander creature token, so it can be another group hug kind of card there. Averna, the Chaos Bloom, for a green, blue, and a red. Elemental Shaman, 4/2. As you cascade, you may put a land card from among the exiled cards onto the battlefield tapped, so it gets you a way to get land cards onto the battlefield when you do cascade, which is one of the things that will be really interesting to see play. Definitely put this as a 99 card and not a commander. Blim, Comedic Genius, to a black and a red. So I did get a few Rakdos cards in here from Ravnica. Flying, Imp, 4/3, legendary creature. Whenever it deals combination to a player, that player gains control of a target opponent you control. Then each player loses life and discards cards equal to the number of opponents they don't control but own. Oh, sorry, they control but don't own. Really cool card to work around. I can definitely see this seeing some play. It'll be fun to play that. Liazer Shroud of Dust, 2 white and a black for 5/5 legendary creature Angel. Rather than pay 2 for each previous time you cast this spell from the command zone, this game you have paid 2 life that many times. So a way to cheat on command attacks. It has flying and lifelink, and whenever a player casts a spell, they lose 2 life. Any spell, including you. But you got lifelink, so you want to definitely be playing a lifelink kind of strategy for this as your commander. But also, this you want to be your commander. You don't want this to be relatively your 99 unless you really want to have that each player loses on 2 life when they cast a spell. Because cheating it into play, cheating the command attacks is a very strong mechanic, definitely. Nimrus, Unis Trickster, 3 blue and a black for a 1/6 flash flying. Whenever you cast your first spell during each opponent's turn, on the top 2 cards of your library, put one of those cards into your hand and the other onto your graveyard. So a good way to start drawing some cards. It's a Fairy Knight. It's really cool. Another Lorwyn callback. Then we go to our artifacts. Commanders play 1 mana to come and play. Quick creature gets +2/+3. It has protection from each color that's not in your commander's color identity. You can equip commander for 3 or equip any creature for 5. Really good if you're playing a colorless deck or a monocolor deck, getting protection from a lot of things. Otherwise, I wouldn't be playing this in you might be playing it in 2 colors, but 3, 4, 5 color decks, you wouldn't be wanting to play Commander's Play. Jewel Lotus, 0 mana for a Black Lotus, basically, that lets you spend mana only to cast your commander, adding 3 mana of any one color. This is a staple in any deck that is a 1 or 2 color commander deck. You will always be wanting to play this. If you're playing 3, 4, 5 color commander, then you don't really necessarily want to be playing Jewel Lotus. It gets worse as it scales the colors. But definitely 1 or 2 mana, you 100% want to play this. It cheats out stuff straight away for you if you can get this in your opening hand, and your commander is 3 or 4 mana. You just get them out straight away. Skorak in reprinted, Phyrexian Triniform, 9 mana for 9/9, and when it dies you create 3 3/3 colors Golem artifact creature token, so you get 9 power toughness again. But the encore is 12. That's a really steep encore. You're going to get another 9/9 attacking each opponent, and then you're going to get 3 3/3 colorless for each of those creatures. So you can get a lot of creatures, definitely. I can see why it's a mythic, but 12 mana is quite a lot for encore. Nivrel's Disc is there, Rings of Blight Half, Staff of Domination, reprints, really good reprints. Horizon Stone is a different one. If you would lose unspent mana, that mana becomes colorless instead, so you can keep colorless mana around, as long as you got Horizon Stone around. It's 5 mana to cast, so interesting card, definitely something that you definitely could see play. And then you got Blade Griffin Prototype, 5 mana for a Griffin that's 3/2 flying. It deals combat damage to a player, destroy target non-land permanent of that player's choice that one of your opponents controls. So interesting kind of card there. So those are all the cards in the main set that are worth speaking about, or as well as these lands. You get these 5 lands, which are going to see a lot of play and worth some money. War Room is another okay card. Pay life equal to the number of cards in your commander's card identity, draw a card. If you're a colorless deck, you get to draw a card for 3 and 0 life. Otherwise, if you're one color, you get to draw a card for 1 life. Then you got your reprints. So there's a few good reprints here. These are all going to be etched. As you can see, they're all going to be foiled. They're going to look really nice. Hopefully, it seems like they're going to look nice. There's definitely some good reprints in here. The cards that like these ones that have been going up and up and up in value, and now are getting reprinted, which is nice to see. So the Enchanter gets a Judge promo reprint there. Rakdos, Lord of Rights, also gets a different promo art. Yukira, another card that has been going up in value. Really nice cards here. Nagella, whatever you want to call it, also some good cards. And then there's some extra reprints here that are the extended art. So Boris Charm is a nice card. Source of Pleasure. These cards can see play in Modern as well. So you can definitely get these kind of ones. Minor Confluence also is a mythic. Pay 1 life and 1 mana of any color. It's getting reprinted as well as a buy box. So you can definitely get that as a buy box as well when you get a draft booster. So some really nice reprints in this set. Overall, I think the set is definitely a home run for Commander. I guess the thing I want to finish off is, is Commander being the most popular, I guess, format hindering or helping? That's what I kind of want to have a discussion in. So if you guys have come to the end of this video, thank you very much for watching. It's been over an hour. I hope you enjoyed my commentary and my review of this set. But have a bit of discussion. Do you think focusing on Commander, having Commander products like Commander Legends, is helping or hindering Commander as a whole? Some people have been talking about it hindering by having these Commander-only kind of products, and I feel like the Commander has lost its kind of identity in a way, because it was cards that you wouldn't necessarily play in Standard, Modern, Legacy, that you can play in this format. But now you've got such strong cards built for this format. It's pushing the power level of Commander. Is that something that's helping Commander on a whole? Do people like that, or is it kind of taking away from what Commander is supposed to be about? And the pushing of power level maybe isn't necessarily fun or healthy for Commander. So I'll leave you with that if you guys want to discuss that in the comments below. Otherwise, guys, like I said, this is a great set. We're going to be definitely doing some openings in our Collecting Master series. If you guys do want to be part of that and you want us to open a product on your behalf, give us a message on Facebook. There's a link in the description to our Facebook page. Give us a message and we will discuss what we have available for you. For example, for Commander Legends, we are going to be doing a draft boosters at 165 plus postage for you, opened on the channel, or the collector boosters we're going to do at 320 for a box, also plus postage delivered to you, opened on the channel. So if that's something that you're interested in, we've had a couple people already interested in that, but if you haven't heard about it and you are interested in getting some products, hopefully the prices I'm able to get for you are good enough for you to want to get us to open stuff on the channel. It'd be really appreciated. I mean, it's great to open product, and if you guys are going to get product and you're going to open it anyways, and you want to see that stuff open on a YouTube channel like ours, then by all means, we are happy to do so. So give us a look on Facebook, and definitely have a chat with us if that's something you want to do, or for future products and other products that we might have available to open. I'll definitely have a chat with people about that. We are very close to 100 subscribers, so keep sharing, guys. Hoping to get to 100 by the end of the year. There's a few things that I can't discuss quite yet that is happening for the channel, which is quite exciting. So definitely keep an ear out. Check our Facebook page. We definitely update people on our Facebook page with stuff there, and it's also when we do giveaways, sometimes it's for people that are just on that Facebook page. So yeah, definitely like that page and join that page for more information. Alright guys, thanks for listening. I'll stop ranting now. Everything on the stack has resolved, and good games everyone.
G'day everyone, it's the Gatherer here. Thanks for checking out the channel. And if you live in Australia and love Magic the Gathering, then our affiliate Facebook group, Josh and Pat's MTG Bazaar, is the place to go to purchase awesome singles and sealed product for bargain prices. It's a page where you can bid daily for the cards you need, or for the cards that you don't but can't resist, as the thrill of the hunt is too much to pass. Check them out in the link below.